What's going on YouTube? Marcus Crockett back with another video. In this video, I just want to talk about really quick whether or not the commercial cleaning industry will be profitable in the year 2023 and beyond. And if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I'm going to say yes. But I'm also going to say no. And then also too, it just depends. Now here's why I say yes. Really what it comes down to is your knowledge and your education. Okay, so if you know who your client is, you stand a good chance of being successful. If you know how to effectively market to that client, you stand an even better chance of being successful. If you know who the client is, you know how to market to the client, and you're able to consistently deliver to that client, then you stand a really, really, really good chance of being successful in the commercial cleaning space. Here's why I say no, okay? I had a subcontractor, very nice girl, sweet girl. Let's call her Jessica, okay? Really nice girl, extrovert, nice to be around, always smiling, always happy. She came to me because she was trying to break out of I'm not going to say she came to me. I recruited her. She was trying to break out of the house cleaning side, right? She wanted to get away from residential, and she wanted to start doing commercial. So, we talked. She said she had a lot of experience, and she was even doing multiple six figures on the residential side. She wanted to learn the commercial side. I said, okay, no problem. So when I brought her in, she wasn't the best cleaner, and she was losing money. She would lose an account, she'd get another account, then she'd lose that account, then she'd get another account. Then so I at one point, I just had to kind of like sit her down, like, hey, you're kind of affecting my business, and you're losing money for yourself. Like, what's going on? Well, what I didn't know was that she actually in the residential space, she was working for someone else. And she's working for someone, and they were servicing a lot of elderly people, okay? And the person that she was working for, let's call her Carla. Carla hired Jessica to work. They worked together for a couple of years. Carla ended up getting sick. Carla didn't have a family to leave her business to. But Carla just didn't want to let her business dissolve. She had a lot of customers that she wanted to take care of. So Carla left the business that she built from nothing to multiple six figures, and then as she was transitioning on, she passed her business to Jessica. This is where the education part comes in, right? And I actually learned something. The type of clients that Carla and Jessica were servicing were elderly. They really just wanted the minimum done. But what they really wanted was someone to talk to. And this is when Jessica came in, and she was able to have relationships with these elderly clients and satisfy their needs. It wasn't a cleaning thing. So now that Carla's gone, Jessica's running this business, and she's now beginning to lose customers because there are some who do want good services. They are paying for services as well as conversation, right? But now she's losing customers. I don't find out any of this until till we start to talk. She's losing customers over there, and then I find out all of this. And that let me know that Jessica, although she has this business over here, she didn't really earn it. It was given to her. So her knowledge was limited. This is the reason why she's losing money. And another reason why she's no longer with us, because she didn't have the knowledge to grow. So on her end, we're both in the same industry, whereas my company is growing, hers is on its way out the door. She wasn't successful, and I knew that something was wrong when I saw like some of the marketing stuff she was buying. She was buying things that looked good, but they weren't anything that was going to move the needle forward. These are just kind of like subliminal marketing things. Like they would buy ink pens, and they would have 4 and 5 different color waves with their uniforms. You don't need all of those things, right? You need to put your money in places where Clients are going to see it where they can make a decision on whether or not they want to bring you in to see if you could service whatever their needs are, right? That was the main thing, right? So then that leads me on to the maybe, right? Now, there are people who are going to start their business, or there may be people who've already started their business, and they know that, first off, they're not inheriting, a book of business from anyone. They have to build up, right? This is where most of us start. We have to build up. Now, most people say, okay, I need to get some core things. What are the core things? The core things, I need to get a website, business cards, some flyers, so on and so forth, okay? But then they say, okay, after that, what do I do? Well, now you have a business that's registered with the state, and there are people who buy certain lists, certain email lists, and they market to new businesses who may not know necessarily what to do in order to grow their business. So let me give you an example. I was doing a video the other day, yesterday. I did this video, and I was checking my email before I did the video, right? Before I did the interview. And I'm looking at this email, and the first thing, I'll go ahead and post it up here. The first thing that really caught my attention was, one, the email was from someone, but it was also to the same person it was from. Now, how it ended up in my inbox, I don't know. But I'm looking at the email, and I'm looking at it, and I'm dissecting it, and I'm like, okay, so you want me to spend this money for the opportunity, for the chance for someone to see it. Hopefully they have a business, and then maybe they'll bring me in to go do a walkthrough. I have to spend all of this money up front. Now, if I'm brand new and I didn't know any better, I might look at this and think that this is a good opportunity, right? And the only reason why I know that this won't work is because I was presented with this years ago from a different group, a group that services, or they cater to prestigious neighborhoods, right? So there's a decent size, there's a wealthy neighborhood that's not far from where I live, and they were marketing this thing to me like, oh, you get to be around these people, and you get to have your name and your business in this magazine, and da 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 da. And I'm just looking at it, I'm listening to their speech and their spiel, and I'm like, you know what? I said, that's not going to work. My return on investment, first off, it's nowhere even near comparison, right? I'm going to spend way more than I'll ever get back. It's basically like playing the lottery. So I turned it down. But when I saw this email, it made me think of that. And it made me think that, you know what? This is a business, and they're still in business, and there's people. And the reason why they're in business is because there's people who really don't know any better, who are going out and they're saving up to spend this kind of money, hoping that they'll get an opportunity to get a contract, right? And this is the maybe, right? Maybe this won't work. Maybe it will. Maybe you'll go down the right path. Maybe you won't, right? And that's what business is. It's what business is really based on, right? The main thing is just making sure that you have the right education, or you're surrounded around the right group of people who can point you in the right direction, or we can guide each other through the murky waters to get on the other side, to get to greener pastures, right? So this is really what this boils down to. But this thing right here caught my attention, and it kind of pissed me off a little bit, because I know that there's going to be people that's going to fall for this, and they're going to lose their money, and they're going to be discouraged, and it's unnecessary. But if you are on the verge of starting your business, you're in your business, you're looking to grow your business, guys, I have links to consultations down below. I stayed up last night till about 1 o'clock in the morning working on this course. It should be dropping no later than the middle of February. It is coming. It is jam-packed with information. And that's really one of the reasons why it's taken so long, because I want to make sure, I have to make sure that I'm delivering on everything. So what's in there is everything from A to Z, including all of my SOPs, how to start the business, how to get the business set up, how to find qualified employees, how I actually find contractors, how to write up proposals, how to bid on contracts. Everything is just jam-packed with all of the information that I have. That's the reason why it's taking so long. But I just asked, please, just be patient with me. It is coming. It's definitely the thing that's on the top of my agenda, is making sure that I get this thing out and that it's actually done right. Because I do not want anyone to look at what I presented and then think about that email that I just showed, right? So, guys, in the game of business, spectators are only going to watch, but hustlers are actually going to get into the game so they can win. Guys, like I say, I'm always dropping jewels. Just make sure you're in position to pick them up. You do that by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Once again, my name is Marcus Crockett. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.